Static electricity, it's us moving to the sound. Your lips are all I need.
What's up everyone, Groj Gaming here, welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today we are playing with this deck here. It is a pretty strong Mortar cycle deck. I guess it's a cycle deck, it's got two cycle cards in there. But we've actually been playing with it in the Grand Challenge, and check this out. Yeah, so I'm currently on 11 wins. What I wanted to do was first go through a couple replays, give my tips on the deck, how I feel is the best way to play it, and you know, just how to figure out your opponents. We will try it against against a graveyard poison deck, and we'll keep the speed the same, just ×1 for now. I don't know if I'm still sounding ill, but I'm just recovering, feeling a bit better to be honest. What you want to do is pump up really as much as possible. So I throw the Ice Spirit down to cycle and then the pump. And obviously at this point he knows he has to take advantage of this. To be honest, I probably should have just fireballed the minions. And then just dealt with the giant. But he goes with the graveyard, and I throw in the knight because it's a really good tank against the graveyard. Okay, so he threw a log to take out my musketeer. I'm going to pump up yet again. And his hand isn't really that good for taking care of a pump. He's going to poison it, so I think I gain a 1 advantage from that, from the poisoning of the pump. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm throwing down my first mortar to kind of see what he's got to deal with it. So now we are locked onto the tower, which is very nice. One shot there. The knight gets one swing. We're going to get a couple mortar shots. So that wasn't really... it wasn't really a tower taking kind of push. I was just testing him out. That was a bad play by me there, to be honest. I thought the Ice Spirit would actually take it out. But we got a log on the tower, and we're still up on Elixir anyway, so can't complain there. And as I know that he's got Graveyard, my pump positioning wants to be in the center of my towers, so that so that he can't, you know, poison and on top of the Graveyard. This was actually a bad play by me. I should have played the musketeer on the left hand side, but I thought he was coming with the graveyard as well. But I think we're still at an advantage from that play. I'm going to fireball the minions just to get them out of the way, and log back that musketeer so it doesn't actually shoot my mortar. So here we're just dealing with the giant. Going to place another mortar down, so he's got extra to deal with on that side. He's actually playing really well, and that poison really just shuts everything down. So what I'm going to go do here is cycle to the next mortar, throw down the skeletons, Ice Spirit Knight. The knight's going to tank for the mortar. All I need for that graveyard is the log and the knight. So that giant absolutely shredded. We're going to get a couple of maybe just the one shot on the tower with the mortar, but we've already cycled back to it and we're at an advantage, so he's going to struggle to deal with this. So he definitely wants to use the tornado now to get as much value out of that execution as possible. But we're locked onto the tower now. And I'm actually going to pull this giant with a mortar over here. So, and he goes for a poison. So as soon as the giant gets close enough, my mortar is actually going to target his tower. And check that out, we're a fireball away, and his giant just needs to hit the tower once. So what I'm doing here is just cycling all my cards, get the Ice Spirit in there, kill that giant, and take out the tower with another fireball. So I hadn't really played against Graveyard with this deck before, so wasn't really sure exactly how to play it, but With this deck, really, you want to pump up, and then once you've got a decent amount of pumps down, or an advantage in Elixir, you can then go ahead and just keep cycling the mortars, take out all of their Elixir whilst defending the mortars, and then your mortars will just absolutely decimate the tower. So I wanted to show... we could go with the Hog bait deck, which actually I've done a video on. Or this rather interesting deck over here. We'll probably go for this one because he's got a rocket from Rocket Pong's clan. Not a bad starting hand. We can set up for a mortar if we do wish to. So when they have a hog, I tend to put the mortar in this position so that it pulls the hog slightly and the mortar actually gets a shot onto their tower. Maybe not the best from me. He actually got a couple of shots with the hog. I'm just going to log back the princess, get it out of the way as soon as possible. So we've got a pretty nice advantage over here. Really, I just want to pump up now. Didn't realise he had a rocket. Probably should have realised that. So he gets some free damage on the tower, but we have now got an even bigger advantage. So just going to set up for a mortar push here. So obviously Knight just a bit lower down. I know he's used his rocket, so he can't just take out all of my troops easily. So the reason I logged the Electro Wizard is because I wanted the mortar to actually lock on the tower. And then I dealt with the princess afterwards. I'm just going to pull that lumberjack with the ice spirit and I prayed that it didn't get a shot, but it did. So he's cycled back to his hog, and I'm going to do the same thing again. This nice position here. And I'm just gonna log it back because I don't want it to get any damage. I did think about fireballing the princess, but just gonna go ahead and pump up, deal with the princess in a bit. Just oh no, go for a knight there, pull the hog back, and then skeletons and ice spirit so that the mortar stays alive. The hog doesn't get a single shot. And look at that, we're already back to the mortar. So get this princess out of there. So he actually only mortars the rockets the mortar, sorry. Which I found quite funny. So that was a negative elixir trade for him. And now, after this goes, we've got a nice little push. So there we go, got the mortar locked on the tower. Gonna throw another knight in front. You kind of have to just react quickly to whatever they put down and to protect your mortar. So obviously here, we're in fireball range. So there we go, nice win there. So what have we done so far? We've done a graveyard, how to beat graveyard, to beat a... To be fair, it was a bit of a random hog deck, so it might not be the one, like, the most generic hog deck, but this is probably one of the most generic golem decks, I suppose. He played it quite well, so we'll just watch this one as well, because I want to show you a big beatdown deck and how I actually win with this deck here. So, before we start, obviously I have no idea what he's got. And I'm going to go for a pretty aggressive pump, seeing as he threw his skeletons down. So now I'm at an advantage. He's used skeletons and lightning, and I gain 1 from the pump. So I know it's time to go with the mortar. So there we go, he put Electro Wizard at the back, so now I know I'm even safer. So I wasn't really expecting Baby Dragon. Just trying to get everything out of the way. Minions get one-shotted by the Musk because of the Ice Spirit. And it was a pretty good log by him, to be fair. So we're up by 10 on damage, but pretty far ahead in elixir. So what I know I need to do now is get another elixir pump down so that he has to lightning that. Meaning, check that out. Look, I'm further ahead on elixir here. I probably should have put the mortar down straight away, but even further ahead on elixir there. 4 or 5 advantage. So he doesn't have too much to deal with it. Ice Spirit's coming in, and obviously the mortar's locked onto the tower now because he didn't really have ground troops to deal with it. And the Musketeer wipes everything out. And look at that, we're at the same elixir and he has a Musketeer to deal with. So, same again really. Or do I cycle back? Yeah, I think I cycle back to the mortar yet again. I probably should have pumped up, to be fair, because that would have messed with him even more so. This is a decent bit of fireball value though, so Baby Dragon actually did a good job of kind of shutting everything down there. So he ended up with an advantage after that play. But I'm just going to keep plugging away. He's throwing everything at me to try and stop me. The Musketeer is going to do some more work. And then I just keep cycling. Keep cycling, keep cycling. And then obviously there's the Golem. This was a bad fireball by me. My log actually pushed the Electro Wizard out of the way. Not to worry though, the Golem got absolutely destroyed. So we've cycled back to the mortar and we're going to throw that down. At this point, I kind of realised that I would probably have to cycle him out with spells. But I tried to get the mortar to work a little bit. So what I do here is place a defensive mortar to pull the Golem. Obviously a knight for the Electro Wizard to completely take that out. So I'm thankful that he put something down by the tower so that I could fireball it. Tried to get a bit of chip with the Ice Spirit, which I did. And then again, just going to log that back. Place the mortar as far away from my tower as I can. The Musketeer placement was quite bad because he... Although that's all he fireballs. No, I mean lightnings. So he just lightnings the Musketeer in the tower. So look at this, I'm in range of log and fireball, so I just need my knight to tank for me for a second. It's getting a bit close. And then we go ahead with the fireball there. So, what I'd say is try to do pump up as much as you can, and then when you get into double elixir, if you can't deal with their pushes, just try and cycle them out with fireball and log. Almost like a hog cycle deck. We'll save this magical chest for now, we'll open it at the end. What we want to do now is try and get this 12th win in the Grand Challenge, so we'll go ahead and do that. So Arab Outlaws. I'm not sure if I know who this guy is, but he might be a good player. So first thought is Ice Spirit for that Skelly army. It might get a bit of damage. So, Musketeer to deal with the Mega Minion. And he used a fair amount of elixir. And he's actually going to try, he's going to log my pump. So I feel like this is a very good opportunity to get the mortar down. I don't know what he's got to deal with it. So there we go, the mortar's just ticking away on that. Executioner, skeletons to distract the Mega Minion, and then we're locked on and already cycled back. So that's a pretty simple log there. Gonna get one or two more shots with the mortar. This is going quite nicely. I'm not sure if I want to pump up just yet. I don't want to get caught off guard with the... Okay, we'll go for it actually. With the graveyard there. So, oh, okay, so... So the mortar is actually going to shoot the graveyard. Okay, so... He's really spending a lot of elixir for this. So I need to get my mortar down. Place it backwards there. Damn, so he did a lot of damage there. Maybe the pump wasn't the best idea. I think this is going to be a tower anyway. Perhaps not quite a tower there. We're not going to let him fully take out that tower with the graveyard. We're going to protect it even more. He's going aggressive on that side, so here we go on this side. Skeletons to distract the Mega Minion. Lovely stuff there. Okay, that was a good fireball. So my fireball will kill his tower. Probably just going to go ahead and do that now, and then see what his response is. Try and get as good of a log value as I can. Okay, so he's fireballed that. Get the mortar down. Try and keep my musketeer alive at all costs. We are locked onto the tower, but I don't think we're going to get... Okay, so that was a bad play there by me. Let's get this log in there. Okay, so he's used a fair bit of elixir. Let's go. Trying to speak as much as I can and get as much tips in. Obviously, it's very hard at the moment. Just trying to concentrate on getting... Go on, get out of there. Let's get our second mortar down. Get it locked onto the tower. Might have been a bad musketeer placement, maybe. Okay, so good play by him there. Okay, so let's go again. Is he going to come in with a graveyard? Not really sure. So we are locked onto the tower. Let's go. Well played by him. So I think what I'm going to do now is simply just cycle him out. So what we need is one more fireball. Let's go, come on. Here it is. So I pressured him that much in the later stages of the game that he just could not get his graveyard down. So at the start of overtime I was kind of playing into his graveyard. But eventually I managed to just outcycle him and keep getting those mortars down, and he just could not deal with it. I protected the mortars. His executioner was not good enough of a tank to actually deal with it. So what we'll do first is open up this magical chest. So Royal Giant, Dark Goblin, Fireball, Archers, Fire Spirits, Goblin Hut, and some Rage. So one of the worst chests in the history of Clash Royale. Oh, by the way, this deck is from a player called Tilted Eddie. I think he's going to be featured in one of Clash with Ash's videos soon. I haven't looked into him too much, but I found him on Twitter, and his deck's really strong. So yeah, I copied his deck, just to see how it went, and I ended up getting 12 wins, so that's really good. I'll leave a link to Tilted Eddie's Twitter down below so you can check him out if you want to. I just wanted to give him credit for this deck. So what we will do now is open up this 12 win chest. 22,000 gold. Ooh, so Hogs, Musks, Fire Spirits, Battle Ram, Cannon, Bomber. Please give me something good. Arrows, 3 Musketeers, Skeletons. Oh my god, Royal Giant, Goblin Hurt. Oh. Oh dear. I'm trying to get my hog up a little bit, so I suppose the hog is okay, but we only got 8. So yeah, anyway guys, this is the deck again. I hope you've enjoyed, and you may have learned, I hope you've learned something from the tips that I've given in these replays, and obviously the live 12 win game. Yeah, let me know what you think of the deck if you try it out. Obviously thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to become a part of the Groj army. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.